I'm looking at the list here now. There's something called Tether, which was wrapped up in a SEC filing report about how they didn't have any reserves. They claimed to have $1 for $1 for Tether, but that was just nonsense. Documentary for Australian television.
Okay.
And
what kind of investigation is that?
It's an investigation into Yao and Lund, who I believe to be the organiser of the scooter coin scam.
So what's that got to do with me?
Well, from my research, you're as close as I've actually got to him, so I'd like to sit down with you and just have a chat about that.
Okay, so, well, not here though. Maybe we should go up to my office and we'll talk. I'll tell you what I know.
Okay, when you're ready, Magnus.
So, what about the deal we discussed?
Listen, Magnus, depending on what information you give me today, we can talk about it, okay?
Right. So, most people don't really know how the economy works, you know, not locally, not globally, and that's a crying shame, you know. When you have so many people operating within a system they don't properly understand, there's a lot of room for misinformation, and in that way,
Jesus, Magnus.
hope it's not that virus. You want to start over?
No, it's okay. We can cut that part. It's fine.
Right. So yeah, when you have people, millions of people, all going about their daily business, their private business within a system, they don't fully understand. There are many opportunities for those that are privy to certain insights about our shared markets. Around the world, our governments try to police so-called insider trading, those people trading on certain information before others, but they neglect their duties.
Listen, Magnus, that's great and everything.
Largely because they simply can't keep up with all the business-related activities going on. I mean, just in Sweden, there were over 60,000 new private companies registered last year. 60,000 in Sweden alone.
Sure, but
not
Magnus...
to mention all the ways in which activity and information about companies around the world can be easily hidden with an offshore account and the right legal advice. And secondly, we have widespread access to new tools that fully anonymize the transmission of data between anyone, facilitated by automation. It makes it extra difficult to police such obscure trading activities. I mean, algorithmic trading occurs pretty much at the speed of light, and how are the authorities supposed to figure out if such a trade occurred because of inside information?
Magnus, that you've chosen to share your worldview and everything is fine, but...
Tom, they can't. They rely on the goodwill of whistleblowers, but whistleblowers are few and far between, because blowing the whistle on dubious activity within an organization more than likely will mean losing one's career path, and so incentives are misaligned. The authorities practice a kind of theater. Publicly they say one thing, but the reality is they simply can't keep up. The SEC in the States has shown time and time again to be unable to do the one thing they exist to do: adequately investigate fraudulent trade. And so it's my belief that it's not only true that they can't do what they exist to do, it's they know that they can't, and yet still they pretend. So why? To maintain the illusion for those at the bottom of the food chain. The great unwashed see these rich assholes walking the earth, buying up everything in their path. It's for them to maintain some kind of belief that their government is doing the right thing by keeping the hyper-wealthy in check. And so, now and again, you'll see a big corporate scandal splashed across the pages of your favorite garbage media outlet and shared on your Facebook feed, and you'll be able to utter to yourself, you know, I knew those fucking rich assholes were up to no good. It's great that we caught those sons of bitches.
Sure, but Magnus, can we get back to...
like a sort of release valve for the general public's collective cognitive bias. Kind of like how confession serves sinful Catholics. So if you listen carefully, Tom, if you listen, you can hear the collective sense of relief as their social media feeds light up with the sound of populist justice. So this serves to position the authorities in a hero status in the minds of the public. Every now and again they get to be heroes for 5 minutes. And I mean, if you're constantly under public scrutiny on subjects like tax evasion or inside trading or anything related to money or economy, you're always looking for ways to change the public conversation in your favor.
Fair point, okay. But listen, what's your role in Scootercoin? Where does Johan Lund fit in?
We work together on promotional stuff. I mean, this is just one of numerous shitcoin projects I'm involved with, and Johan is just one influencer of many. You know, Tom, there are exchanges these days where you can trade influencers just like football players.
Trading influencers?
Yeah, just like sheep and cattle.
I'd like to pursue that further, but let's stay on track. Tell me about Scootercoin. What's your involvement?
It's very simple. We move new cryptocurrencies from A to B, from people that have them to people that think they need them for whatever reason. Usually these currencies are wrapped up in a project with all the usual trappings of a regular startup, but only the language we use is hyper-technical. It's targeted towards younger adults and designed in such a way that it appeals primarily to the part of the brain that thinks or wants to believe it's smarter than it actually is.
Now that's true. I've certainly witnessed plenty of those types of people on this journey. Reminds me of...
It's much the same as how stock moves in the regular economy. Only in the regular economy it's much more expensive. And there are increased regulations one must navigate in order to move certain stock. That said, there are certain tools available in the regular economy that allow for exactly the same kind of behavior the crypto economy is so famous for. So see the crypto economy and the economy you operate in, Tom, are both one and the same. So with one major underlying difference. In the digital realm, we'll benefit from a significant increase in decentralization.
Yeah, I've heard this word repeatedly on my investigation. Seems more like a drunken hallucination.
Yeah, perhaps for you, Tom. But once you sober up, you will discover the crypto economy provides for a world in which there are no more middlemen required. It's ridiculous to me that your pursuit of you want as you're traveling across the world when all you had to do was look at your own industry in the world in which you operate for clear signs of
my industry. It's not my industry.
Behavior that is simultaneously both facilitated and derided by the state. Your financial industry has state-sanctioned corruption on a level they don't even understand. And we, the ones working in crypto, are the criminals?
Okay, so both economic systems have similarities. Fine. But if that's true, both should be subject to the same regulatory scrutiny, right?
Tom, have you listened to anything I've just said? The regulatory environment of which you speak is neither applicable to crypto, nor has it ever been effective in the regular economy. It's pure theater. Do you really believe a few thousand people sitting in an office in Washington can effectively police the majority of the world's financial transactions? Come on, you're not that stupid. The irony here, of course, is that properly applied, blockchain technology, the very technology that powers so many crypto projects and is ridiculed as a consequence, is actually the solution to the conundrum the regulators continue to have.
Go on.
The Bitcoin network has been humming along nicely for over 10 years, providing verifiable, immutable transactions of unique data globally, not only for the coins themselves, but actually information. Why then have the authorities not applied this clearly exceptional technical solution for misconduct in the financial markets?
They don't know how?
No, Tom, they don't want to. It's too much of a leap, technically, culturally, socially, philosophically. Look, I have spent enough time operating in both economies to realize we are approaching a turning point. The global economy has developed in such a way, largely due to the almighty US dollar's grip on international trade, that large chunks of the world's population are excluded from being able to freely participate in the global economy, hindering their efforts to better themselves and grow their local economies for future generations. These are the realities of your economy and how it stands today.